In Millennials and Money today, Margaret Bogenrief, a retail turnaround expert, joins us now to talk about Anthropologie. Good to have you on the show, Margaret.
Thanks so much.
So does Anthropologie need some help turning itself around?
I think what's interesting is Anthropologie is following the same path as J. Crew. They're having really serious design issues. What I find really interesting is the parent company, Urban Outfitters, is really taking an aggressive hold of this, and actually the CEO last week said, we may soon be abandoning most of our apparel within the shop and be focusing on home goods.
Apparel is an issue because I heard that even the buyers who chose dresses for spring did a lousy job. People are coming in, they're not interested in these dresses. It came down to fabrics and silhouettes and everything, and people just don't like them.
And what's interesting is Anthropologie had always been the no sales store. So they had avoided discount shopping, which millennials are so attracted to. And in this last batch of, like you said, clothing since last May, they've really had to do what's called the 40% discount.
Yeah, that was always the cool thing about that store. You just paid the whole price. All right, let's move on to what you mentioned. And they seem to want to go into home goods, which the store is filled with home goods, but we'll see more of those?
Yes. Last year, the CEO of Urban Outfitters actually announced that they were, in the next 3 years, opening 25 to 50 stores that had, on average, 3 times the retail space. So that's telling me they're getting into furniture, they're getting into accessories. They are more interested in painted frames than they are painted dresses this year.
Will this work?
I think it can. I mean, if you look at Free People, which is within the Urban Outfitters family, it went from 2010 to 2015 from 4% of revenue to 12% of revenue. So clearly Urban Outfitters is trying to shift the apparel to Free People and trying to make Anthropologie more of kind of the next door flea market for very expensive.
What other advice would you give them, Margaret?
I think what they're doing actually makes sense. They're getting ahead of the curve. If you look at what's happening to J. Crew, it's all about designers. That's all they've been focusing on. And Anthropologie, I think, kind of stumbled into this, but I think it's going to be an interesting idea. And I think in terms of millennials, you're going to see a lot of them buying $80 frames there. And I think that's a great profit margin.
That is a very good margin. Thanks for coming on, Margaret.
Thank you so much.